I am cautiously optimistic about your request to us because of something that I wish you to address us, and maybe you help us appreciate and see how we can navigate it. The crux of the matter is that the people that you represent feel marginalized in the counties where they presently exist, and that the objects of devolution haven't been achieved to them. In fact, to use the words of one of the presenters who came here yesterday, making a case for Mwingi County, he said devolution has been taken captive at county headquarters and it doesn't reach the people. Yet that is what you are advocating for. However, and this is something I want either you, KAROLI, or the members that you're with to address us. You have given us one way that this can be solved. Create for us additional counties where we can self-govern and our people can enjoy devolution like the rest of the country. I just want to ask, is there the slightest of chance that there is another way we can achieve your objectives without necessarily creating additional counties? Why do I ask so? I ask so because seated where you are, yesterday was Council of Governors. And we took them to task because as it is today, 47 out of 47, 100% of our counties are spending in excess of 80% of the devolved funds on recurrent. Only 20% is going to development. Therefore, there is a risk that even as you create further counties, you may not necessarily achieve the purpose of your intention, because basically what you're doing, you're creating another line of 80% recurrent expenditure. So is there a way, Mheshimiwa KAROLI and your team, that what you're pleading can be achieved without necessarily having to create extra counties? Just a question that I'd wish you to address. And why do I say so? My last point is because, and I want to use Trans Nzoia as an example. Last week, we listened to elders from Mount Elgon and Sabaot. They came to us, presented just the way you're presented. Yesterday in the afternoon, we listened to another team that called themselves Trans Nzoia stakeholders. And they said, these people haven't come to us for us to resolve our issues internally before coming to you. Why do they want a share of our county to be given away? And actually you've mentioned it, because you've said, don't think about it in terms of cost, because the cost of running these counties will be gotten from already the share that is allocated to these specific counties. Therefore, people feel the majoritarian thinking in the counties where you're coming from can easily gang up and come before us tomorrow and say, why do you want to take away a portion of what has been given to us on account of certain people being dissatisfied? So I'm just using the case of Trans Nzoia that played out before us, and probably if people watch you today, then tomorrow we can have the other side of Mutembei, the other side of Migori, Kisii, coming to us and saying, why do you want to take away other resources? Hence my question, that while what you're proposing to us makes sense to me, that we can create additional counties, is this the only way through which we can entrench this concept of what you're calling further devolution, or there is another way? I'd wish to be assisted. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I have a different idea, but I'm totally in agreement with the creation of new counties as a person. Because actually, I'm one of those who is affected, and the panel here can attest to that. My mother comes from Mount Elgon, and that is a team that has really been affected. But the idea of creation of new counties without a referendum, I really want to understand that clearly. Because you've tried to give us structures, and you've also tried to give us sub-articles, but still, the structure of devolution is one national government, and it has 47 governments, county governments. Creating additional counties would change the structure and thus require a referendum. I want you to look at that. And maybe as I'll be finishing, I would also propose that we will allow our technical teams to look at that, what KAROLI has given us in those